Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Here we are as Group 2, and we would like to deliver our material about the teaching, reading, and writing to young learners. It will be delivered by me as Galuh Kusumaning Ayu, and then my friends Galuh Sayekti and Harum Nur Rochman. So here we go. We start by teaching. According to Frimpong 1990, divine teaching is a process by a teacher impart knowledge, skills, attitudes, and value to a learner or group of learners in a way that respect the intellectual integrity and capacity of the learners with the aim of changing the behavior of the lead. So, we can conclude that teaching is a set of events outside the learners which are designed to support internal process of learning. Teaching or instruction is outside the learner. Learning is internal to learners. You can motivate others if you are not self-motivated. Motivate are not seen, but behaviors are seen. Learning is both a motivate and behavior, but only behavior is seen. Learning is internal and performance is external.
The definition of teaching reading. Reading is an activity that can add someone's knowledge about important news and also some new vocabulary items. According to Stanley, 2007, reading is a process of constructing meaning from written text. It is a complex skill requiring the coordination of interrelated sources of information. In the classroom, teaching reading is a way transferring knowledge from teacher to student by using a certain technique of strategy and a certain material in order to master reading itself. The significance of teaching reading. There are many reasons why getting students to read English text is an important part of teacher's job. Here are several reasons stated by Jeremy Hermer in his book How to Teach English. Number 1. Many students want to be able to read text in English either for career, for study purpose, or simply for pleasure. Number 2. Reading is useful for other purpose too. Any exposure to English is a good thing for language students. At the very least, some of the language stick in their mind as part of the process of language acquisition. And if the reading text is especially interesting and engaging, acquisition is likely to be even more successful. Number 3. Reading texts provide good models for English writing. When we teach the skill of writing, we will need to show students model of what we are encouraging them to do. Number 4. Reading texts also provide opportunities to study language, vocabulary, grammar, punctuation, and the way we construct sentences, paragraphs, and text. Number 5. Good reading text can introduce interesting topics, stimulate discussion, excite imaginative responses, and be the springboard for well-rounded, fascinating lessons. Principles for teaching reading. The following principles can guide the design and practice of a reading program stated by Nation ESP. Number 1 is meaning focus input. This by practice and training in reading should be done for a range of reading purposes. And then learners should be doing reading that is appropriate to their language proficiency level. And then reading should be used as a way of developing language proficiency. Number 2, meaning focus output. Reading should be related to other language skills. The course should involve listening, speaking, and writing activities related to the reading. Number 3, language focus learner. Learners should be helped to develop the skill and the knowledge needed for effective reading. And then learners should be given training and practice in a range of reading strategies. And then learners should be given training and practice in integrating a range of strategies. And then learners should become familiar with a range of text structures such as those used in newspaper reports, stories, record, and information reports. And the last is fluency development. Learners should be helped and pushed to develop fluency in reading. And then learners should enjoy reading and feel motivated to read. And the last is learners should read aloud. This can be monitored and encouraged through the use of extensive reading and issue logs. And then strategies for reading comprehensions. For most second language learners who are already literate in a previous language, reading comprehension is primarily a matter of developing appropriate, efficient comprehension strategies. Some strategies are related to bottom-up procedure and others enhance the top-down process. Following advanced such strategies, each of which can be practically applied to your classroom technique. Number 1, identifying the purpose in reading. Number 2, use graphemic rules and patterns to aid in bottom-up decoding, especially for beginning level learners. Number 3, use efficient silent reading technique for relative rapid comprehension for intermediate to advanced level. Number 4, skimming the text for main ideas. Number 5, scan the text for specific information. Number 6, use semantic mapping or clustering. Number 7, guess when you are uncertain. Number 8, analyze vocabulary. Number 9, distinguish between literal and implied meanings. And the last, capitalize on discourse markers to process relationship.
I want to explain about teaching writing for young learners. The first is definition of teaching writing. Writing is the process of putting ideas down on paper to transform thoughts into words to sharpen main ideas and to give them structure and coherent organization. The strategies for writing comprehension is reinforcement, language development, learning style, and writing as a skill. Reinforcement students acquire languages in a purely oral way, but most of us benefit greatly from seeing the language written. And then the language development is the actual process writing. Rather, like the process of speaking helps us to learn as we go along the mental activity and the learning style. Some students are fantastically at picking up language just by looking and listening. For the rest of us, it may take a little longer. And writing as a skill is the most important reason for teaching. Writing is a basic language skill. And then writing process. The writing process is a brainstorming, planning, drafting, and revising, and then rewriting. The next is the principle teaching writing for young learners. One is children have their own world that is far different from that of adults. And second, children have their own culture and learning preference. The third, children run by way of physical activities. The fourth, children have relatively short attention and concentration span, and children learn with the motive of meeting immediate goals. And then children should have a great deal of exposure. Then children learn naturally. Children know a lot of literacy before schooling. Children learn best when learning is kept whole, and the children tend to learn holistically in the forms of scripts. Enough for our explanation, and we will discuss it in our course on Tuesday. And see you. And the last but not least, learn as to you would never be able to master it. Hold it as to you would be in fear of losing it. Confucius. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.